Ever since I started woodworking, I've always liked to brand the things I make. I actually saw this candle holder that I built years ago. It was one of the first things I ever made. And I looked on the bottom of it and I actually wrote my name with a pen and the date that I made it, which is kind of cool to see because my mother and father-in-law have had this since I built it, and if it wasn't for my name on the bottom, I honestly would have forgot that I built this thing. Now, I kind of upgraded from writing it with a pen, and I had like a metal iron that you heat up with a torch and put your brand on it that way. But that was kind of short-lived because you're really limited to what you can do with a brand. It's simply your logo and you heat it up. There's no way to customize it. You're stuck with that brand. So when laser engravers started to get popular, that kind of opened up everything because you could give it that professional look and you could literally customize it with whatever you wanted to put on there. So today I really just wanted to make this quick video on how I make like custom tags for my furniture. So I just finished up this big custom console table. And this customer found me through Facebook Marketplace. I had an ad for custom console tables on there. And he sent me a reference of what he wanted. A picture of a past console table that I built and said, I want it just like this, but in these dimensions. Now, the console table he was referring to, I built years ago, well before I started making these custom tags. So this is just kind of the perfect example of this because I could see visibly from the picture that it was out of oak. That was no big deal. The biggest thing was the stain color. I had to go through a few trial and errors of matching this console table to that one as far as stain color goes. But now, by putting these custom tags on each piece of furniture I make, it takes that guesswork out of it. What I simply do is just go to my scrap bin. In this case, I had a thin piece of red oak that was going to be perfect for this. And what I do is just use a laser engraver. And another thing I want to mention is you don't need a laser engraver at all for this. Literally find a scrap piece of wood to make that tag out of, and you can do it in pencil. But seeing as how I have a laser engraver, I put my logo on there, which is just my initials, and then under that it just says Brady Hummel Woodworks, so they know exactly who built it. And then I just put a couple different subjects of, useful information, like the wood species, the stain color I used, as well as the finish I used. And I usually have plenty of space on the tag to put any other notes I need to, but that's the main info I want to know. If this customer reaches out to me in 5 years and says, hey, you built a console table for me years ago, and I want a dining room table now that exactly matches that, I can go to this customer and say, hey, underneath that console table, there should be a tag with some info. Can you snap a quick picture of that and send it to me? And that right there takes the guesswork out of it. It gives me the exact wood I used, the exact stain I used, as well as the finish I used. Because you got to remember, stain color is obvious. You want the right stain color. But also, depending on what finish you use, that can drastically change the whole look of the furniture. I used Waterlux on this piece of furniture, but let's say I didn't know and I built his dining room table now, and I used Rubio Monocoat. That is a completely different sheen, and it's going to look completely different. So this has been something I've been doing for a few years now, is putting these custom tags on there. And another thing I like to do is I like the tag to contrast from the finished product. So what I did was write my info on here, and I write the date as well. And then I finish it with shellac. I use shellac just because it dries very quickly, and I'm able to put this custom tag on the piece of furniture within minutes. What I really like about it is when you're writing that info, I use a pencil, and it just kind of gives it that handmade, one-of-a-kind touch, and just makes it look like a really quality product that serves a purpose as well. Some info that you'll know and want in the future if someone reaches out to you. So that's just something I wanted to share really quick. I know it's not your normal way to brand furniture, but it's my way and I like it. And I just wanted to share why I do it this way and how it just serves more of a purpose than just putting your logo on it. Thanks for watching, guys. As always, I'll catch you in the next video.